We're joined by Republican strategist Mara Gillespie. She is the founder of BlueStack Strategies and has been an advisor to several Republicans in Congress. Another week, another headache for this administration and the president as it relates to his association with Jeffrey Epstein so many years ago. Mara, the last time we spoke, you said that it would be actually beneficial for Republicans the more we saw the Democrats jump on this bandwagon. But now we find ourselves in this unique position politically where Democrats and Republicans have come together on this subject matter. So now what? What does this mean for the president?
The fact that these committees went ahead and, as Lauren pointed out with the Rules Committee, sort of putting at least the House side in a standstill, that was one aspect. And then you saw House Oversight, bring her in or schedule a subpoena for August 11th without consulting with Speaker Johnson, without consulting with the president. And so that tells me that House Republicans and just in Congress, they're realizing that they have to go home to their constituents and have an answer for something because they don't want to be focused on this entirely. So they need to focus on, okay, we promised transparency. Let's do that. Let's stick with that idea that we want to have transparency, but also then focus on the wins. And so in order to do that, they have to be, fair and honest with them and use a position because they are the ones in power, right? House Republicans control, Speaker Johnson is control the gavel, and then in the Senate, Senator John Thune is in charge. So really they have no excuses as to why they can't. And relying on the president who's gone through all the cycles of denial, disparagement, shifting blame, none of it has worked. The traditional playbook that Trump has succeeded with isn't working this time. And Republicans realize he's a lame duck president. They need to think about their midterms, their reelection campaigns. And so this is one issue they don't want to be focused on. So they need to move past it. And the best way to move past it is to call for transparency.
But they've defied their own party base in efforts to defend the president, whether it's DOGE cuts, whether it's this unpopular spending bill before. So what is the strategy here? Is it their attempt to defend the president before their constituents or to defy him?
I don't know that they're viewing it, whether it's defying. I think they're playing them. I truly believe that they're playing the best hand that they can, looking past him, because Trump is going to be out of power soon. He is very much showing his age as of late. They recognize the fact that their reelection campaigns, yes, in the midterm, maybe he'll be helpful, but maybe he won't be. We don't know what the next year will bring. And if those short-term pains that he has cited for long-term gains will actually come to fruition before the 2026 midterm elections, we don't know that yet. And so Republicans have to think about what's in my best interest as far as speaking to their constituents and delivering the wins. Because is this Epstein drama lowering grocery costs? Is it making housing more affordable? I would say that it's currently not, right? It's not having an impact there. And so they need to get back to the messaging that they ran on. And part of what they ran on was transparency and making sure the DOJ was not being weaponized. And so how do they do that with this drama sitting there out there front and center? They need to address it, but then be able to shift to their actual messaging they want to focus on, especially as they're all headed home. House is out now. They're going home to their constituents. They're going home to their districts. They need to focus on what it is their constituents voted for. And this Epstein issue is not something that they want to be really caught up in, and being caught up in it would be to be defending the president. And so they don't need to be doing that. They need to be focused on their issues at hand.
How much of Epstein, how much of their constituents focus on this Epstein scandal? Because it doesn't, as you said, lower grocery prices, and it doesn't impact their day-to-day lives. So why are they so adamant about getting to the bottom of this? I mean, I know there are some, like Marjorie Taylor Greene, who rose to prominence because they did peddle in conspiracy theories. And she has said, for one, to our reporters that her phones are ringing off the hook from constituents who want answers here. But is that the case for most Republicans?
I would say it's not the case for most Republicans. But what this issue has highlighted is the cracks in trust. Because the campaign of Donald Trump ran on this. They ran on transparency. They ran on saying they had this information. And so it really does then call into question and putting those cracks into the trust that MAGA loyalists had, but also Republicans at large. If he's lying about this, then what else has he lied to us about? And so that's where I think that people are so upset, because this is one of the first times where they have really doubted what's going on. They don't trust. And they have given Donald Trump so much trust, and they give him a pass on so many things, which as a Republican has shocked me, to be quite honest. But this is the first time where the loudest voices in the MAGA movement are now questioning him. His response to the Wall Street Journal letter to Jeffrey Epstein for his birthday, about this drawing. He then tweeted out, "I've never drawn a picture in my life." That just blatantly is a lie. We know it's documented that it's a lie, but the fact that he would lie about something so silly like that, what else has he lied about? And I think that those cracks in the trust and in their faith in Donald Trump is what you're seeing, why they want the answers, why they want to know what's going on, because they need, and for some of them, I think they just need to know. They need to know, rip off the Band-Aid. I want this information so that they can then decide how to move on from there, because not all Trump voters are Republican voters. They may not come out for the midterms, but it's important that Republicans in Congress address the issue, because they don't want to be caught up in this mess. Because if they get caught up in which part of the lie or which tactic Trump is using that day, they'll get lost, and then they'll be part of the problem. And they don't need that headache.
Yeah. And it's clear this problem's not going away anytime soon for the president, as much as he would like to see it go away. Republican strategist Mara Gillespie, thank you so much.